Welcome back to the Better Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, James, and with me, as always, is my co host, Anis. Today's episode is a big one because we're talking about regret, something we all deal with at some point in our lives.
That's right, James. Regret can be one of the heaviest emotions to carry, but what if I told you it could actually become one of your biggest sources of growth? Instead of letting regret weigh us down, we're going to talk about how to rewrite our relationship with it and use it as a tool for self-improvement.
And this isn't just about big life regrets, sometimes it's the small regrets. Things we said, decisions we made, opportunities we missed that stay with us the longest. But here's the truth, we don't have to let regret define us.
We're going to share personal stories, practical ways to reframe regret, and exercises to help you move forward. So if you've ever thought, I wish I had done things differently, this episode is for you.
Let's start by breaking down what regret actually is. Regret happens when we look back at a decision or action and feel dissatisfaction or disappointment. It's often accompanied by thoughts like, I should have, or if only I had.
And there are two main types of regret. Regret of action. When we regret something we did, saying the wrong thing, making a bad decision, hurting someone. Regret of inaction. When we regret something we didn't do, not taking an opportunity, not speaking up, not chasing a dream.
Studies actually show that as people get older, they tend to regret inactions more than actions. That means we're more likely to feel bad about the risks we didn't take than the mistakes we actually made.
And that makes sense. When we take action, even if we fail, we gain experience. But when we don't act, we're left wondering what could have been.
Here's something that might surprise you. Regret can actually be a good thing if we use it correctly. It can be a powerful motivator for change.
Instead of looking at regret as punishment, look at it as a lesson. Ask yourself, what is this regret teaching me? How can I make better choices in the future? What's one small step I can take today to move forward?
Some of the most successful people in the world have built their lives around learning from regret. Take Steve Jobs, for example. He was fired from Apple, the company he co-founded. Imagine the regret he must have felt. But instead of dwelling on it, he used that experience to learn, innovate, and eventually return to lead Apple to even greater success.
Exactly. Regret only holds us back when we get stuck in it. But when we use it as fuel, it can push us forward.
So, how do we actually rewrite regret and turn it into something positive? Here are 3 key steps. 1. Reframe the story.
Instead of saying, I failed, try saying, I learned something valuable. Change the way you talk about your regrets. Every mistake carries a lesson if you look for it. 2. Make amends where possible.
If your regret involves hurting someone or making a mistake, take action. Apologize, make amends, and show that you've grown. Sometimes just owning up to something can release the emotional weight of regret. 3. Take action moving forward.
If your regret is about something you didn't do, find a way to act on it now. It's never too late to go after a goal, reach out to someone, or change direction.
Let's share some personal experiences. Anise, do you have a story where you turned regret into something positive?
Yeah, absolutely. A few years ago, I had the chance to start a passion project, but I kept putting it off because I was afraid I wasn't ready. Fast forward a few years, and I realized I had wasted so much time worrying instead of just starting. That regret pushed me to finally go for it, and now I always remind myself, done is better than perfect.
That's a great lesson. For me, I once let a great friendship fade because I was too busy and didn't put in the effort. I regretted not keeping in touch, but instead of just feeling bad about it, I reached out, reconnected, and made sure to never take friendships for granted again.
See, regret doesn't have to hold us back. It can actually inspire action.
Now, let's challenge our listeners. Take a few minutes today and reflect on these questions. What's one regret you've been holding on to? What's the lesson in that regret? What's one small step you can take today to move forward?
Whether it's writing it down, talking it out, or taking action, don't let regret keep you stuck. Use it as fuel to push forward.
Regret is a part of life. but it doesn't have to be a burden. Rewrite the story, take action, and keep moving forward.
And remember, no matter what you regret, you are not defined by your past. You are defined by what you do next.
If this episode helped you, be sure to subscribe to the Better Lifestyle Podcast so you don't miss the rest of this series.
And if you know someone struggling with regret, share this episode with them. Let's spread the message of growth and self-improvement.
Thanks for tuning in. Keep learning, keep growing, and don't let the past hold you back.
Until next time, this is James and Alice signing off. Stay positive, keep pushing forward, and keep building your better lifestyle.